The only joy, the only pleasure I had was, they worship Jesus, man. They got statues and they celebrate Christmas and they don't even know that it says in the Bible in Jeremiah chapter 10, don't do what the heathens do. They look for the star. They look for that star. And what do? They see it as a sign. Then they go into the forest, they chop down a tree, they bring it into their house, and they nail it down so it doesn't tatter, it doesn't move, and they deck it with gold and silver. And Jeremiah says, don't do that. It's an abomination. And I didn't want them to know it. I was happy. Go ahead with your Christmas trees. Enjoy it. It was a galechta. I would pray that it would only snow on Christmas. They would have a white Christmas. Good. Go ahead, enjoy. I was a pleasure. The biggest pleasure in the world is watching these stupid goyim who wanted to kill me all day. The last thing in the world I wanted to do is help them. I wouldn't want to tell them about the God of Israel. I didn't care about them. I didn't like them. It's not that I didn't like them. It was not like a racist. It's just that everyone was like this. This is my world, my friends. Just so you understand, we're talking, it's you, me. I just want to know where I come from. It was years later that I saw groups like Jews for Jesus standing on the street corners. They tried to convert Jews to Christianity. Convert Jews? You're going to try to convert Jews? You didn't do enough to us? You're going to convert? I was shocked by this. Now, I want to make this very clear. I believed, and I believe to this moment, I believe that God had put me on this world. The reason I was conceived was to bring people out of the church. I want you home. Now, but then it was just the Jews. I didn't care about the non-Jews. Who care about you? A bunch of goyim idiots. Go do what you want. Go worship cockroaches. I don't care what you do. So I have to understand that in my time, so my work was, now, very clear, I did not see a vision, I didn't hear voices, I don't believe in that stuff, I don't believe in UFOs, I'm the most skeptical, I just don't believe in blood moons and schmoons and things. That's not my field. Okay, I want to see evidence, I want to see the Bible, I want to see scripture, and I want to see texts that are graphic. I don't want some ambiguous thing like this. But my world was a very neat world, it was very well organized. It was us and them. It was the Jews and the Goyim. And actually, it worked out perfectly. Everything was so neatly organized. Why was it organized? Because it made all sense. Everything in history made sense. I always wondered, the Crusades, the Inquisition, 1648 and 49 in the Ukraine, they were killing us, constantly killing us. As it turns out, all the church fathers, every one of them was a virulent anti-Semite who would make David Duke look like he's the president of Hadassah. I mean, I'm talking about the people that that are venerated like Tertullian. They literally wrote books called Against the Jews. I mean, Luther, Martin Bucer, who was his contemporary, these people hated Jews. They despised them. All of them, Origen, all these people that you have a great respect for, they couldn't stand the Jews. So to me, everything clicked in. You see, my world was very simple. It was us and them. And it made sense. Everyone wants to kill Israel, destroy it, blah, blah. So everything, my world would change because I met a man. His name is Nathaniel Nash. Nathaniel Nash, was a very famous writer for the New York Times. He was a devout evangelical Christian. He had come to my lectures, my Bible classes, my teachings that I came, and we struck up a very close friendship and relationship. And the man was different than anything I'd ever met in my life. He was a devout. Now you're asking, what is an evangelical Christian doing with the New York Times? How did that happen? I know what you're asking. You think I don't know what you think? I know exactly what you think. The point is, he wrote for the business section. He was the bureau chief in Frankfurt for the New York Times. He was in New York all the time. We would go out to dinner. We study scripture together, and he was finally understanding what does Judaism believe. He was a devout, and he loved Jews. I mean, it's not the thing. I remember we went to a restaurant, a kosher restaurant, Coney Island Avenue in New York. Never forget this. We were sitting there, looking at the menu, going to order dinner. So it happens to be they were playing some sort of popular Beatles music in the background. He was so upset. He went over to the owner of the whole restaurant. He says, "Could you put on something Jewish?" I'm like, "Oh, bruh, give a look at this guy. He's bothering him. They played yesterday in a kosher restaurant." This man loved. I mean, he really, which meant a problem. Because that means my whole worldview was now being called into question. We became very, very close friends and studied together for many years, loved each other very much, studied scripture, and unfortunately, on April 3rd, 1996, he was on a flight. He was among 35 people on a 737 Air Force jet, modified jet, and it crashed. And he was killed. He was killed with, when Ron Brown, the Secretary of Commerce at the time, he was on that flight and he was dead. He was dead. And I lost a great friend.